It's mountain crossings at Neel Gap, where I'm starting my hopefully 78-mile trek up the AT. I left off here the last time I was here about a month ago with my son. If I can complete this stretch between here and Winding Stair Gap, I'll have done virtually, literally, the first 150 miles of the AT. Stop for lunch. Basically a breakfast bar and some Propel mixed into my water. I've gone on about 4 miles, 4.5 miles so far today. That's not much, but I didn't get started till 10 o'clock. And it's just a little after 12 now, so I'm making a little, maybe a little less than 2 miles an hour, which isn't bad considering the terrain. It's, you know, there's times when I know I'm not even going a mile an hour. I'm just kind of stumbling uphill and stumbling back down. Only run across a couple of day hikers, and that's pretty much it. Protein. Do you have a trail name?
Well, I have a couple. I haven't picked one. It's one stretch. I stretch a lot.
Yeah.
Storm, because I've gone to Desert Storm, and I have a hat that's Desert Storm.
Awesome.
So,
thank you.
Other than that, my name's Kathy.
That's great. And this, of course, is Chris.
Chris, what's up? No trail name.
No trail. This is my room at the Hiawassee Budget Inn, or as I like to refer to it, the Rosebud Motel. And just like the song says, TV doesn't work. Microwave does, so I could have my coffee in the morning. That was nice. And that's all I really cared about. I just needed a dry bed. It's raining like hell outside. Not much else I can do about that. Gonna hunker down here for a day. So I paid for 2 nights. I'm getting my laundry done. It's nice to have a hot shower and a hot meal. I think because I'm a day behind my schedule, I hurt my knee a little bit yesterday. So I stopped at Walgreens, picked up a knee brace, so I think that'll help. And I expect tomorrow to rain as well, but I'm going to go ahead and check out and march in the rain. I won't be too far behind schedule once I get moving again. I need to resupply, so I've got to make a trip to a grocery store somewhere to pick up some extra food, because I won't have enough to make it all the way to Winding Stair Gap unless I go ahead and stock up now, which means I'm going to be carrying a little more weight than I anticipated for this next stretch of the next couple of days, but I'll be okay. I'll be fine. I'm at Unicoi Gap, just starting out on what's really just day 3 of hiking. Took a 0 day yesterday. Stayed at the Hiawassee Budget Inn. a clone of the Rosebud Motel at Schitt's Creek. Affordable, very hiker friendly, no TV. Actually quite a blessing. Today I only have about a 6.5 mile hike trying to get to Tree Mountain. And I've got to go up about 2,300 feet and down about 1,000 today. So it's going to be a trying 6 miles. Not to mention, as you can see, it looks a little foggy. That's steam rising off the mountains. It's not a cloud coming down. It's going to be raining all day. So I'll just take it easy, take it slow. Try not to get tripped up on these rocks. These things are slippery because they're covered in moss. So I'm going to put the camera away for a while. I got an emergency alert on my phone a couple hours ago that said flash flood warning. Watch for streams and rivers overflowing. And so I'm not worried about getting a good water source today. I think there'll be plenty of that, and that's pretty awesome actually. I could take a bath in that, trust me. Splish splash, I was taking a bath. Gotta go. I'm in the Tree Mountain shelter. It's about 1 o'clock. I did my 6 miles in 4 hours. So I decided to go ahead and call it a day because the rain's not going to stop, and it's another 7.5 miles to the next shelter. And I just don't feel like walking 13.5 miles in the rain. So I'm going to take it easy here for the night, rest of the afternoon, and try and dry out. I put on some dry clothes, I hung up all the wet stuff. It'll probably still be wet in the morning. I'll put it back on and hike in it tomorrow just because it's probably going to rain again in the morning anyway. But it wasn't a bad day. Hiking in the rain is no different than hiking when it's not raining. It's raining and you're wet. It is so quiet here. And it's not because I'm half deaf and not wearing my hearing aid. But it is so still this morning. And I compare it to the noise I had last night. Between the storm and the snoring in the shelter, I'm glad I pitched my tent. Done about 3.5 miles so far this morning. It's all been fairly forgivable terrain like this. More of a footpath, less rocks, less roots, mostly level or slightly downhill with an occasional rolling up, but I expect I'm going to get to my shelter again. The 11-mile goal, I may be there by 2-3 o'clock. I could go a little further, but kind of enjoying the rhythm. I think I'll go ahead and stop where I planned, which is Dix Creek Gap, I believe it is. 11.5 miles from where I started this morning. So, with any luck, we'll have nothing but this nice cool mist. It's not raining. That's a good sign. Stopped raining about the time I got up this morning. Rained all night. A little pitter patter on the tent is a wonderful noise to sleep to, but when you're under a tree, inevitably you're going to be under some leaf that collects a shot glass worth of water and drops it about every 10 seconds. And you hear pow! And then 10 seconds later, pow! And it's like 4 inches from your face. So I put an earplug in, my one good ear. Those of you who know me know the other ear is useless to begin with, so it drowned it out enough of the noise for me to get some sleep. And this morning it's been a nice calm stroll in the northbound direction. The other 3 hikers that were in the shelter last night were going southbound, so that makes me the webmaster this morning. If you don't know what that means, spiders build their web across the trail all night long, and whoever the first person is to walk that section of the trail in the morning catches all of them. So you're the webmaster. Well, nobody's headed northbound from my spot, and I haven't passed any southbounders, so this is what I have to do. I take my trekking poles as I'm walking, and I do this when I come close to foliage that looks like it may be holding a spider web. The minute you forget about it, you walk into a spider web. I had no doubt have a few hitchhikers somewhere on my person, but I'm not worried about them. I don't think they're very poisonous, if at all. I doubt it. They're just an annoyance. Cobwebs mostly. Whatever spiders make those. Cob spiders? I don't know. Oh well. I'll check back in later. I don't know, maybe 4 feet long, 4.5. Don't know what it is, but it's my first real wildlife, so. Crikey, it's a black and yellow striped South American Cobra Pit Viper. They're very aggressive and can run up to 25 miles an hour. They have legs underneath them. Been known to bring down a whole herd of elephants in South America. We got an early start this morning. I left camp about 7:30, which means you got to get up about 6:10, 6:15 to kind of get everything packed up, have your breakfast, brush your teeth, do your business, whatever you got to do, get dressed. What a mess it is. But found this sweet stream right down here. And so I stopped long enough to wash my socks. That's Chunky Gal Trail, number 77. I didn't realize there were that many of them. It's the first one I've seen. Stayed at Muskrat Creek last night, and it was kind of quiet. Only one other person on the trail or at the campsite, and that was a Czechoslovakian named Vaslova. So we had our tents about 100 yards apart, so I didn't see much of them at all last night. And then this morning I just said goodbye. He was still eating breakfast, so I got a feeling he'll be about an hour behind me. I left camp about 8:10. I did 11.5 miles yesterday to get there. It was about a 4,000 foot gain and 2,500 foot descent, but it was a heck of a hike.
Well, I looked and it's like I didn't see any reason to.
You don't see very many water sources as good as this one. Makes you want to stop and take a bath. Water is ice cold. I mean really cold. I soaked my feet in one of these yesterday. And I did my laundry. So, there you go. Now, I don't want to jinx myself. See this tree over here that's missing all its bark? That typically means that some fool tried to hang a food bag in that tree and the bear climbed up there and got it. That's what those claw prints are. There's a lot of trees around here like that. I made it to the top of Albert Mountain. There's a tower here. I don't know that I feel like going up. I probably will, but I don't think there's anything to see. I mean, we're in a cloud, right? Right. Not the best day to view whatever is out there, which looks like all of North America. Yeah, can't see any of that. That's what it looks like from here. Just came off of Albert Mountain. Gasmine Gap 2.7, Wallace Gap 5.9, and my goal today is Winding Stair Gap 9.1. I just checked on my app on my phone, so I've got a full day left, but it's mostly downhill, so it should get there fairly early. I hope to be there early enough to call a shuttle and get back to my car, because this is the end of the road for me. Winding Stair Gap will be the last place I go. That's known as bear scat. Pretty sure that's what bears leave behind on the trail for us hikers to step in. There's a dark spot up there. Could very well... Nah, there's no bears out here. This is the first trash can I've seen since Sunday when I left Hiawassee. You don't see them often on the AT, so it's always good to be able to dump your garbage, because you have to pack out what you pack in, which means every bit of scrap trash I've created since Sunday has been in my backpack, and it's starting to smell a little rank. This is the parking lot at Rock Gap, and I have 3.7 miles to go to Winding Stair Gap, which should be the end of my hike. The only bear I've seen on the AT. So I'm laying here by the highway waiting on my shuttle driver to pick me up, take me back to my car. I made it from Neel Gap to Winding Stair Gap, about 78 miles inside of a week. I left last Thursday, and today's Thursday. But I spent one day in Hiawassee at the Rosebud Motel, just waiting for the weather to pass. It wouldn't, so I just went out and hiked in it. I'd say it was a good hike. I enjoyed it. I didn't hurt myself. My biggest day I did 17 and a half miles. I did not have a lot of cell service, so I couldn't check in as often as I wanted to. But it filled in the gap between Neel Gap and Winding Stair Gap, which now I've completed from the approach trail in Amicalola all the way to the Nantahala Outdoor Center, which is 145 miles. It gives me a little bit of confidence that I can hike this. I haven't seen anything I couldn't do yet, but there are other stretches of the AT that I know are far more difficult. The White Mountains are kind of looming large, but take them one day at a time. Thanks for riding along.